iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans. It is the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. Back in action here tonight with the Arts Barbershop 125 after the holiday break here. The Thanksgiving break in the United States is over, and these drivers ate a lot of those Best Colorful Creations cake pops, and now they're ready to shake off the rust and get things started here tonight for 125 laps. In the virtual booth here tonight, my name is Roger Muth, and alongside me, it is Kelly Dahl. Kelly, welcome back. I know it was a week off, and I know you're excited to come back to this tight, small little track.
Yeah, this track usually puts on some great racing, especially with just how banked these corners are and how tight they are, too, as we were mentioning before we got on air here, is just how much that the guys are able to spin the tires coming off the corner just because they have to go so slow through these tight turns.
These tight turns are sort of like the tight clips that Arts Barbershop used to give. Arts Barbershop is a proud supporter of the Upstate Racing League and a sponsor of the Empire Racing Team. A.J. Hamill, Justin McDuff, part of that team up there in the Empire Race Team. Of course, you know, they do a good job, but Art was one of the best at always clipping off some of the fastest times of haircutting. We'll see which one of these drivers are able to take home that pole here tonight. Last season's winner, last time we visited the track here at Southern National, it was Joe Schaefer Jr. able to pick up the Racing Designs 100 victory back on January the 27th of, well, this past season was the last time we came here. Right now, he is sitting on the provisional pole. A couple drivers still have a couple seconds here to go ahead and turn a quicker lap than him. And then Michael Trevarthen sitting on the outside looking in at that pole here tonight. This track, though, Kelly, it's banked, and it's banked on the straightaways. We've seen a lot of these drivers have some problems here in practice. A lot of them using that inside lane, but when they come up off the corner, they're blowing the tires off. And, well, this track, it's tight. Everything's going to wash down out of the corner.
Yeah, I think we may start to see some multiple lines open up throughout the race. I mean, especially if these drivers burn off those tires, we may see the inside line may not be the fastest places. We may start seeing guys move to that second lane.
But it does look like it is just about time to light the fire here tonight. Now let's take us trackside here tonight for our starting lineup here for the Arts Barbershop 125. This is how they will line up here tonight. Starting on the front row, he drives car number 6, and that is going to be Joe Schaefer Jr. To the outside, rookie sensation out of Florida, the Rev Esports number 2, that's Michael Trevarthen. How about the big winner from the other week, the 13G, that's Guillaume Fortin there in car number 13G. He'll start third. To the outside of row number 2, driving the number 98 Ohio, that'll be Chris Stump. Gary Eschen having a great qualifying effort here tonight. The number 23 will roll from 5th. Matthew Barkhouse in car number 15 will start into the 6th spot after not getting very much practice time here tonight. 7th will go to the car number 8. That's Steph Marinac with Vernon Woodard in car number 73, just picking up a Snowball Derby win the other day. He'll start 8th. 9th will go to the number 1 of Dalton Williamson, and the 10th position, it's the brand new daddy. It's car number 11, Brian Hacker.
Row number 6 is going to see the 88 of Matt Eddy line up on the inside, with the rookie Jeremy Bingham lining up on the outside in the 17. Brian Rogers Jr. puts that 12 machine in 13th place, while EJ O'Rourke in the 41 will line up to the outside of row 7. Row number 8 sees the 39 of Bill Martin a little bit further back than when we normally see him, but I'm sure we'll see that 39 charge to the field, and maybe Andy Lambert on his outside will follow him through. Brett Hahn is going to roll off in the inside of row number 9 with Justin Rigsby to his outside. The big boss man of Al Smith Jr., he's going to be on the inside of row number 10 with Mike Holtzclaw on the 22 to his outside.
It'll be the number 4 out of the 802 Precision entry. It'll be car number 4. That's Rodney Hontoon in 21st. 22nd to go to the Austin Designs, number 5 of Scott Alston. 23rd starting spot here tonight, it's Mr. Confusion himself, A.J. Hamill. We'll start back into the 23rd spot. Devin Johnson, car number 18, will go 24th. 25th to the 23 of Ellie Musgrave. Rob Higgins in the checkered flag auto supply number 40 will go 26th. 27th to Justin Coachman in car number 7. Justin Fuller deep back into the field here tonight in car number 51. He'll start 28th. 29th will go to car number 45, Casey Bietti. It looks like Stephen Roachford back in 30th. 31st to the 2B of Brett Bartels. Jeremy Carpenter back into the 32nd and final starting position here tonight. That's your starting lineup for the Arts Barbershop 125. Next time by, I believe we should be ready to light the fire up underneath these super late models.
Yeah, I think traffic is going to be a big thing here tonight with how short this track is and with how many drivers we have out here on this track.
32 drivers coming towards the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone here tonight to light the fire on the Arts Barbershop 125. As the green flag is up here tonight, we are racing here at Southern National.
Joe Schaefer Jr. getting a very decent start on the inside, and we see Guillaume Fortin having another great run, gets to the inside of that 0-2 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen struggling on the high side. He's going to try to find a way to the bottom, but Gary Eschen now, he's going to take away that bottom lane as everyone's just trying to fight to the low end of this track.
That outside lane does not seem to be the place to be right now here tonight. It is Joe Schaefer Jr. right now that has scooted out in the Epic Media number 6 entry. Guillaume right there. Gary Eschen now into the 3rd spot. Michael Trevarthen still hung to the outside. Justin Fuller having some issues towards the mid-pack. He's down on the bottom side of the speedway. Gets it all corralled up to the outside of him. That is Devin Johnson. They're battling way back here into the 25th position.
Trevarthen now is going to find a way to the inside. Oh, but he's going to hit Chris Stump. Stump goes sideways, and the first caution is going to come out as cars scatter behind them.
That's the number 41, E.J. O'Rourke. That is spun around down there into the corner. You see the 41. There's the Austin Designs number 5 also turned around, facing the wrong direction as these drivers all start to pull away here. So that will be the first time we see the caution flag here tonight, brought to us by Confusion Motorsports. We'll have to go back and check it out to see exactly what happened there. A lot of drivers towards the front of the field getting turned around. As let's take a look at it here. There's the 2. Michael Trevarthen does come down and, yes, catches the number 98 of Chris Stump. Stump going to go around the 73 Vernon Woodard, then goes around the outside lane, gets clogged up, nose-to-tail traffic at the top lane of the speedway.
Yeah, that is a big wreck with a big, pretty much parking lot effect. As we were saying, this is a very small track, and we have got a lot of cars out here tonight. So really any sort of incident that happens, especially early on while everyone's still bunched up, is going to involve multiple cars.
There you see it, these drivers just having nowhere to go. Vernon Woodard almost made it through there, and then that gets clipped in the right rear. The Stand RC Speedway entry goes around, and, well, that is what's going to bring out the first caution flag here of the evening. Joe Schaefer Jr. is currently still the leader here according to our scoring. We're waiting for everything to get caught up. A lot of drivers spun around there, and, well, we'll just have to wait for them to see where they end up being scored here if they're a lap down on the lead lap. We're going to wait to see what our scoring tower does say. The Upstate Racing League, though, is brought to us by the Best Colorful Creations. Best Colorful Creations is the custom cake headquarters for the Upstate Racing League. You need that special cake for a special moment? Give Beth a call at Best Colorful Creations, the exclusive cake provider of the Upstate Racing League.
Well, hopefully these cars will be waved around the pace car here shortly, and yes, they are getting waved around. Pace car lights are out, but they are going to extend the caution just one more lap to allow these lap traffic just get back around and allow everyone to kind of stack up, because as we've said, this is a very small track, so even under caution, it does not take long to lap this track.
Not quite at a half a mile in distance, with a pretty solid banking through all four corners here of the speedway. So laps do click off pretty quickly. Our fastest time so far here of the evening has been set by Joe Schaefer Jr. with a 13.97 second lap. The only other driver to dip down into the 13-second bracket, that is car number 23 of Gary Eschen. He will restart to the inside of row number 2. So we're come back here into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone here as the iRacing.com pace car lights are extinguished as it makes its way to the inside. Joe Schaefer Jr. back to the gas and a big wiggle by the outside there. That was the 13G. Guillaume Fortin with a huge wiggle in the 13G.
However, he was able to find a gap to get down to that bottom side, as all the drivers now, after seeing that restart, trying to get to the bottom as soon as possible. We saw that 8 of Steph Marinac just immediately make a dive the second he had a gap.
Couple cars that are lined up side by side. You got to go all the way back to, it looks like, right around the 7th position. That is the 17 of Jeremy Bingham. He's to the outside. The Bingham Bros, number 17, having some very wicked handling issues on car number 17 here tonight. There you see the number 1 Dalton Williamson get down to the inside, the rookie. Now here comes Brian Rogers Jr. He'll take the bid to the inside. That outside car that's just kind of stuck there right now, that is Bill Martin in the number 39. Nowhere to go. Stuck to the outside. Here comes Brett Hahn.
He has nowhere to go in front of him, nowhere to go below him. Now he's going to check up just to get to that bottom side, as he realized there was going to be nothing on that second lane. So right now that bottom lane is the dominant place to be, and maybe we'll see later on that the tires may wear out and we can maybe see some guys move that second lane, but right now you want to be tucked down as low as possible in these banked corners.
Brian Rogers Jr. about a half a car length up the speedway there in the Lightning McQueen Rusty's number 12. You see to the outside, that's still the number 17. Bingham still stuck out there right now. Can't go anywhere. Brett Hahn sideways, gonna save it. Here comes Martin. Martin's gonna fill the hole. He'll slam the door on the number 711 of Brett Hahn there. So Hahn, who tried to, one car going around down in 4. One car going around in 4, and it is the number 4, as that will bring out the Confusion Motorsports caution flag here tonight once again for the second time on lap number 17 here in the Arts Barbershop 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series under caution for the second time here this evening. There you see car number 4, Rodney Hontoon, pulling away from the spin. The driver out of Middlesex, Vermont. And that 802 precision entry will bring out the caution flag. Didn't see if he had any help, so let's take the look back here and let's find out together. Ellie Musgrave was running just behind him in car number 23. Ellie did take a peek to the inside, and very slight contact there to that left rear quarter panel. Going to turn that number 4 to the outside with no contact with that outside retaining wall for Rodney Hontoon.
Yeah, unfortunate for Hontoon. Looks like maybe just a little bit of net code, as I think Musgrave might have just stayed off that left rear quarter panel, but unfortunately it is going to send that car around. Musgrave claiming the caution, so she's going to be sent all the way to the rear of this field, and as we're seeing tonight, Southern National is not going to be an easy place to make any passes. However, there are some drivers that have made some moves. Rogers, Bingham, Martin, and Hahn have all, and even Al Smith Jr. have all moved themselves up multiple positions.
Another driver that's going to put himself in a good spot here on the restart. It'll be car number 41, EJ O'Rourke, going to get the wave around. So EJ will go back now. I believe that will be to the tail end of the lead lap. He will bypass Ellie Musgrave. Musgrave will get that end-of-line penalty for the contact with Rodney Hontoon. One driver coming down pit road here, and that is going to be the number 73 of Vernon Woodard. It does look like he will come back out here. I don't know if did he beat the pace car? Yep, Russ Wheeler style, I believe that is. So he'll beat the pace car off, and we're getting ready back for this restart here. Just a couple of seconds. It looks like our scoring tower trying to put Ellie Musgrave back into the right position also. So the 23 will come back around here and tag just the back of the field. So it does look like all of our cars are on the lead lap. Possibly, nope, I'm being told Vernon Woodard did go one lap down. So the number 73 of Vernon Woodard, one lap down 24 positions from where he started here tonight. But the lights are out. We're ready to go.
That car's getting stacked up once again. Joe Schaefer Jr. going to be in control of the field once more, and we'll see if Guillaume Fortin is going to be able to challenge him or if he's going to spin those tires once more. Pace car now moving down into pit road, and we move to the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone as Joe Schaefer Jr. going to send it off down into turn number 1 there, getting a great launch. Guillaume Fortin going to challenge on that outside, but that's going to give an opportunity for Gary Eschen to move to the inside for the second place.
It will be the Epic Media number 6, though, clearing out of turn number 2, as I believe the caution lights are back on all around the speedway. Something happened there. I believe Rob Higgins having some issues. Matt Eddy also, I'm being told, having some issues in the Eddy Performance Solutions number 88. You see the front end of that number 88 shortened up just a little bit. So we're going to have to go back and see what happened to Matt Eddy. I believe I saw the 40 of Rob Higgins. Maybe not. He was involved, though. Take a look here right off the restart here and watch it back here. Let's watch it together and find out. Watch the 88 Matthew Eddy goes down into the corner, into the back of Casey B. Eddy, and he got a big boop there. I believe that was the number 72 of Andy Lambert. There you see the one of Jeremy Carpenter coming to a stop there in the Carpenter's Tank Service number 1, and I believe that is the number 40 of Rob Higgins rolling away also. So those are the 4 cars definitely involved. It was just a chain reaction down on the bottom. One driver drove it in a little bit, and the next driver not able to hit the brakes in time.
Well, Rob Higgins is the one that kind of put his hand up and claimed that caution, but I don't see why he would think that, as he was kind of the late entry into that wreck. That wreck was kind of already happening before he even arrived at the turn number 1.
Yeah, take a look here, right on board, and yeah, there's the 88 already spinning in the 40. The 72 was into the 88, and the 40 absolutely nowhere to go. He was the 3rd car in line there, kind of just wrong place, wrong time, and not sure, but yeah, as you said, the 40 will take the end-of-line penalty, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it is good to claim when you've made a mistake, but I really don't think that Rob Higgins made any sort of mistake there. He was, like you said, wrong place, wrong time. There was nowhere for that 40 car to go, so I would not rest the blame on him.
So it does look like we're ready to come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone here tonight. It'll be Joe Schaefer Jr. and the Epic Media green number 6 firing off again, and this time a much better, smoother launch up off turn number 4 here back to green flag for the 3rd time this evening in the Arts Barber Shop. 125 here tonight.
Yeah, Gary Eschen didn't get a great start, and it looked like Marinac tried to make a move into turn number 1. Now he is actually going to get a better run off of 4, and now he is going to be able to make that pass. So maybe that outside lane is starting to work a bit more, as these guys on the inside slowing down so much that it's almost hard to drive off the corner.
Right now, that side-by-side battle is for that 5th position. Matthew Barkhouse down to the bottom side. Chris Stump on the outside in that 4 Loco entry. Williamson Rogers is right there also side-by-side. Now Rogers will lift a little bit and dive back down to the bottom side of the speedway, and he will see now if he can run down that duo that's out in front of him. Very odd angle there. Jeremy Bingham in car number 17 coming down. And he'll be able to hold on to that spot. I thought that was going to be an odd angle there for that number 17 machine, but he's making it work because now Al Smith is right there also. So that's a side-by-side battle also. All through the field here, there are side-by-side battles all up and down the 32-car field.
Bill Martin now continuing his charge up through the field. He's trying to make a move on Brian Rogers. He goes to the inside through turns 3 and 4, and he is going to get the spot over that 12 Rust-eze machine. So move Bill Martin up now. I think that's 7 positions if my math's right.
That is Al Smith Jr. into the wall out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. One car going to be spinning. That'll be the 51 Justin Fuller. They're going to wad him up. That is the 7-11 Brett Hahn involved down there in the quick time. Number 7-11 entry. He'll try to get it gathered back up before the field comes back around here. Also the 22. That is Mike Holtzclaw trying to get turned back around here tonight. A little bit of a rough going here in the opening laps of this one, as we will see that Confusion Motorsports caution flag once again fly here at Southern National.
Yeah, 51 of Fuller getting turned around there, but I think he's going to manage to get out of that one with not too much damage. I think just a little couple taps to that rear bumper, and he was able to just get away before the rest of the field kind of piled in.
Well, let's take a look here, see if we can find the 7-11 of Brett Hahn. He was the one that was involved here with the 51 of Fuller. Fuller was to the outside, Hahn down to the inside lane here. Fuller tried to avoid the number 96 of Al Smith, was clear for a moment, and then that bottom lane just gets stacked up. Holtzclaw nowhere to go, Casey Pietty, and I believe that's the 31 also of Justin Rigsby that had just clipped a little piece of that wreck.
So another caution here as we get a little bit closer to the about 40 laps in, so I would say about a third of the way through this race almost, but still a lot of racing left to go, especially if we can get some green flag runs in. But if we do go green, these laps will tick by very fast. As you mentioned, these guys are lapping this track in about 13, 14 seconds.
Right now, we're on lap number 37 here tonight in the Arts Barbershop 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series for the Upstate Racing League right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope everybody here tonight that's tuning in from, well, if you're in America, I guess you guys had the Thanksgiving holiday just the other day. We hope you all had fun with your family and your friends and got to eat quite a bit. Kelly, what did you do over your break? I know your holiday was, 3-4 weeks ago up there?
Yeah, it was a little ways back. I worked. It was just Thursday.
Wednesday.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I suppose it was just Wednesday, but I thought you were referring to the actual holiday itself, which was not a holiday for me.
It was a holiday break for the Upstate Racing League, let's put it that way. But we're back and we're ready to go. Lap number 39 officially going to be put into the books here tonight as you see the field 2x2 as the iRacing.com pace car lights are off. We will get ready to go racing. It'll be Schaefer and Fortin to the up front row as it'll be the Epic Media number 6 with another hole shot here tonight into turn number 1.
And there was a bit of a checkup on that high side, and a bit of a accordion effect. However, these guys are still going to be able to get through that first two turns fairly clean. And then we see that Casey Bietti, I'm looking a little wrong spot. Gary Eschen, he's going to be stuck on that high side as he was on the inside for the longest time now, struggling to run that second lane.
He's to the outside. He does have a hole there right in front of the number 1 of Dalton Williamson as he will get down to the bottom side and run it very deep there in the crazy time. Number 23 down into the corner to make sure he did get ahead of that number 1 of Dalton Williamson. So that will put him into a good spot as now there's the side-by-side battle. That's the 51 of Fuller trying to get around the number 17 as I believe we have a little carnage towards the back of the field. Couple cars going around. I believe the number 22, Mike Holtzclaw, there he is. Car number 22 spun around. The driver out of Limestone, Tennessee, trying to get that car back going as the leader, though, Joe Schaefer Jr., does get past him. We'll see where our officials pick him up here tonight on the scoring. But that will bring out another one of those Confusion Motorsports caution flags here tonight for the 5th time on lap number 43. We are slowed here tonight at Southern National.
And it looks like that all started with Trevarthen getting loose and just creating a bit of a stack up. And once again, we just encounter that accordion effect. And it's much worse once the cars are up to speed. And it seems like they just couldn't quite get away clean this time.
I think Brett Hahn may have been a little piece of that. Let's ride on board here with car number 22. Mike Holtzclaw definitely checked up for that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen towards the front. I don't know if Brett Hahn was able to see it. He wasn't. The 22 then will go spinning and comes to a rest against the inside retaining wall down in turns number 4.
So Joe Schaefer Jr. continues to lead this race and hasn't really had much of a challenge against him as Guillaume Fortin has been chasing after him, but really not been able to really mount any sort of attack. But at the same time, he hasn't really had the time. Pretty much every time we kind of get to the green flag laps, I think we're only getting about 5-10 laps in before we get another caution.
Yeah, right now working our 5th caution flag before lap number 50, averaging 7 laps of green flag competition here tonight. Actually, it's 6 laps, and if my math is correct, something like that. I'll just leave that up to the professionals back here behind us. But we are ready. We're 2x2, but not going to be quite ready this time. Still lining everybody up here into that double file formation. So we can come into the Hanson Starter Shop Restart Zone. Of course, the Hanson Starter Shop Restart Zone, a longtime sponsor here with the Upstate Racing League. Of course, rebuilding and repairing alternator, generators, and starters. Also carrying new ones with 30 years of experience in the Upstate area. Hanson Starter Shop, our official restart and green flag zone here with the Upstate Racing League.
Lights are out on the pace car, so we are going to be going towards that Hanson Starter Shop restart zone this time by, once again, Joe Schaefer Jr. in control of the field. Guillaume Fortin to his outside, and he's going to fire it off off of turn number 4 down into towards turn number 1. Guillaume Fortin is going to find himself a gap. He's going to slot himself into that bottom side as the rest of the field goes 2x2 behind them.
Look at Bill Martin on the outside lane in car number 39. A little contact right in front of him. That was the number 8 of Steph Marinac and the number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse, but Man, that 39 is absolutely flying here tonight. He's up 9 spots. It's not to be mistaken, though, with a couple of drivers that are behind him exchanging some spots back there. Justin Fuller up 19, and Casey Bietti also coming through the field up 18 spots here tonight. Big wreck. That's the number 98 that was going around spinning like a top, and he's not done. Mike Holtzclaw right now holding his car up. He'll back up, and that'll slam the number 98 back down onto the ground. Caution lights on once again as cars absolutely everywhere here tonight at Southern National.
Yeah, and that started off all with the 98 of Chris Stump just getting into the wall, so I think it's the first time we've seen a wreck start from a car not being hit by another car, but that was probably the biggest wreck we've seen so far tonight.
Al Smith going to get a piece of that as we watch it back here, and the two of Michael Trevarth and the 98 are the drivers that really took a huge brunt of the impact of these drivers here. Watch it back again. Watch the 98 of Stump. He's going to get the outside retaining wall there out of turn number 4, and then Fuller will finish him off, but that car was already headed to the inside wall, and there we see the pileup. Where did Al Smith's number 96 end up? Because we know he went around. Let's watch the Stand RC Speedway entry. There's Stump, and just almost cleared it. And he'll wind up to the inside there. Bartel's going to give him a little shot in the back end. He'll spin it around. There's the Austin Designs number 5 of Scott Austin. He also got a little piece of that also. So, I mean, you name it. I believe everybody from right around the 13th spot on back has a little bit of battle wounds from that one.
Yeah, and that was just a bad bounce, really, for that 98. He hit the inside wall, and it just shot him right back up onto the track, right in front of the rest of the field. So, really unfortunate situation for a lot of these drivers getting involved in that one, and some of them taking some very heavy damage from those impacts.
There you see our highest running rookie currently here tonight, the Stand RC Speedway Rookie of the Year candidate. That's Gary Eschen. He is currently the highest scored rookie out there on track. Of course, Dalton Williamson right behind him. He's another one of those Stand RC Speedway Rookie of the Year contenders this season, but it does look like quick yellow here. The track officials say we are lined up and ready to go. It'll be Joe Schaefer Jr., who has led every lap here tonight. He'll bring us back into the Hanson Slurry Shop restart zone.
Pace car dives to the safety of pit road, and Joe Schaefer Jr. not wasting any time, launching right off of turn number 4. Guillaume Fortin again getting a nice start and going to be able to hold off Matthew Barkhouse, who was looking to try to get to the inside to take away that second place.
But look at that 39. Martin going to pick up another one. He'll put Gary Eschen back there as he's stuck to the outside. Here comes Dalton Williamson. But look at Justin Fuller. Oh, it's going to get tight down here in 1. That was the 23 of Eschen trying to come down on the number 1 of Williamson. Williamson, no way. Now Eschen into the outside wall down the back straightaway. It's going to check up that 51 of Justin Fuller. Here comes Casey Bietti from the back to the front here tonight for Fuller and Bietti.
And Fuller was trying to find a way around that 23 machine, still looking for an opportunity. He's going to follow him all the way up into that outside wall. There's a little scrape going into turn number 3 there. But now that 51, he's going to find an opportunity inside, but the caution lights are going to come back on once more.
That was the 96 of Al Smith Jr. going for a spin. The driver out of South Glens Falls, New York, the Stand RC Speedway Coach's Corner, Best Colorful Creations, number 96, has officially brought out the 7th Confusion Motorsports caution flag of the evening.
I think he may have gotten a little help going through turns 4 there.
We'll watch it back right here. Watch the 96. There's the 72, Andy Lambert, and slight contact out of 4. Going to turn that 96 around. Bartel's right there. Going to go nose to nose, and Holtzclaw coming into the inside. He'll scrape the yellow paint off the wall, but couple cars spinning around, making a little contact here is what's going to bring out this caution flag once again. Watch it on board here with Al Smith Jr. See a little contact there. Lights the tires up. Hits a couple times, and E.J. O'Rourke, and I believe the 66 of Stephen Rochefort back there making some heavy contact.
This is going to line the field up once more as we're just nearing the halfway point in this race, and Bill Martin, one of those drivers, has made up a lot of ground, but even more than him has been Casey Bietti and Justin Fuller coming from 29th and 28th respectively, and they're up to 7th and 9th between them. And with them starting on the inside here, I think that might be able to gain them a few more spots in this next restart.
Yeah, we're C here because Bietti is going to start in, looks like the 7th position, so that'll be to the inside. Good for him. Fuller will also line up to the inside, so that's also a good spot for him. We'll see if they can continue their march through the field here tonight. Joe Schaefer Jr. is out front here tonight, though, saying, hey, it looks like it is great for me. The Epic Media number 6, last year's winner here at the Southern National, having himself a good run. Guillaume Fortin right there also. Come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, and it's all Joe Schaefer, and another great start by Schaefer.
Unfortunately for 410, he's not going to be able to get the good start. Barkhouse is going to get his nose to the inside. They're going to fight side by side down that back straightaway, but that 13G machine, he's not going to give up, even though he is on that unpreferred high side. He still is going to be able to carry a bit of speed, but that 15 of Barkhouse, using that banking to his advantage, he's now going to get the move done through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Guillaume not going to battle out there. He knows that is no man's land, as there's Bill Martin, Steph Marinac battling side by side. That's the 4th and the 5th position here. The Dr. Noise, number 39, still continuing to work his way towards the front of the field here tonight, but he's got some damage on the nose piece of that number 39, and the caution laps here tonight not going to help the temperature gauge on car number 39. Martin currently running there into that 4th spot. Everybody's trying to get down to the bottom side, and one car to the outside. That's the number 1, Dalton Williamson. Hey, we'll get down now in front of Justin Fuller, as Fuller had a little bit of a bobble that time. Now Fuller to the outside. Here comes Gary Eschen trying to also fill that hole. Steph Marinac still to the outside lane also.
And it looks like Fuller is not going to take the inside lane. He's still trying to look to the outside to get around the 1 of Dalton Williamson, as he feels like he's got the speed, but that outside lane just isn't quite working right now. We haven't had really enough green flag laps to burn off the tires, and now he's actually going to take a tap from the 1, and he's going to lose ground to the 23 of Gary Eschen.
Oh, the 51 of Fuller was up into the outside wall there, right in front of the number 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. Little, I believe maybe slight contact there by the number 51 to the back bumper of the 23. Eschen got a little loose. Fuller up into the outside wall once again. Rogers going to have to lift out of the throttle in that Lightning McQueen Rusty's entry. Fuller really got his handful in car number 51.
And as soon as you spin those tires, you heat them up, and with how short the laps are, it's hard to really cool your tires off and get that heat out of the tires, so it just makes them slick and makes it much easier to just kind of spin them once again, and it's just kind of becomes a snowball effect. You spin the tires once, you maybe do it in the next corner, and suddenly you are just driving on ice.
One driver that drives like he's got ice water in his veins is the 18. That's the Arts Barbershop number 18 of A.J. Hamill. He's on the outside of the top 10, but trying to get that number 18 inside the top 10. He's got to go up there and get Brian Rogers Jr., and everybody just about slapped that outside wall out of turn number 2 that time. I saw Eschen, Fuller, and Rogers both come out of turn number 2 and right into the outside wall.
A.J. Hamill looking like he's carrying some good speed through the corners, but he just can't quite get around Brian Rogers Jr. as he is keeping that car nice and tight to that bottom lane. With how short these straights are, there really isn't an opportunity for the 18 of Hamill to try to make a move.
So we'll see if he can get around him. Rogers was looking really stout there for a little while. Maybe too much contact with the outside wall has now hampered the performance of car number 12. See if he can continue to hold off the 18. Hamill, though, sideways that time out of turn number 2. He'll light the rear tires up of that car, and now he'll try to put the clippers back down and get that car straight once again.
These drivers have a lot of power underneath their right foot, and with how tight these corners are, it's so easy to just get back on the power just a little too much and just light up those rear tires as you're trying to get off the corner. Use that banking just a little bit for their help, but that banking just isn't enough to keep the rears completely planted behind these super late models.
Everybody now here tonight, look at it as we go wide out of turn number 1 here tonight. Look at everybody right down around the bottom. It's like a little bit of a zipper effect. Everybody just ripping down on the bottom side of the speedway. The number 711 of Brett Hahn trying to make his way back through the field. There you see the driver of the 711. He's right now behind the 2B. That's Brett Bartels. We'll see if the Michigan driver can get back inside the top 15. Here tonight, he was up as high as running into the 11th position before taking a spin and going to the back of the field. Michael Trevarthen, another driver here tonight, qualified inside the top 5. He's well deep into the field right now, back into the 20th spot for the driver out of Florida. One of those rookie candidates this season, buried back in 20th.
We're going to have to see what these drivers are going to pull out to really make any more of these moves now as we kind of stretch out into our longest green flag run of the night, and the field kind of stretches themselves out. We may see drivers try to diamond these corners just a little bit and run down that banking to try to just get the nose to the inside through turns 1 or turn 3, because that's really the only way I can see someone making a pass here at this point of the race.
But lap traffic, you talk about making a pass here tonight. Lap traffic is about to be a factor here tonight as your race leader, Joe Schaefer Jr., is approaching the back end of the field. I believe that is going to be the number 18 of Johnson that he is working upon, and Johnson is back into the 26th position, last car on the lead lap. So lap traffic will be a factor here tonight if we continue the green flag run that we're on. Right now, though, Joe Schaefer Jr. has almost worked himself up to a second race lead over Matthew Barkhouse and the number 13G of Guillaume Fortin.
I would expect, though, that lap traffic is just going to stay right up against the wall, as we're seeing the 16 machine do that right now, as he's just trying to stay out of the way of the rest of the field. So hopefully lap traffic won't factor in too much, but as you're saying, Joe Schaefer Jr. really starting to pull away from these guys. He's opened up nearly a second over that 15, but that has just been wiped out as the caution flag flies once more.
Caution flag is out. I'm not sure if that is for the 2B of Bartels or where that caution lights were flown from here tonight. Everybody looked to be pointed into the right direction for me, but we'll see if we can find that here tonight. Let's watch the 2B of Bartels. He was having himself a good run. Oh, the 96 of Al Smith Jr. getting turned around by the 7 of Coachman right there. So him and Coachman making contact. Smith going to do a 360 and keep that number 96 rolling the best he can here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like a car coming up and a car coming down, but I think the 96 may have come up a little bit more, and I think Al Smith Jr. agrees with that. He's claimed the caution. He'll be sending himself to the back of the field.
Well, that's the gentleman thing there. Two drivers. Then there's no argument at the end of the night of, oh, you shoved me, I shoved you. It doesn't matter. It's all fun and games when we come here to the Upstate Racing League. Yeah, we like to race hard. Obviously, we see that here tonight at Southern National. But these drivers, they're all friends at the end of the night here, and that's probably what the best part of this is here with iRacing. But right now, here tonight on iRacing, Joe Schaefer Jr. is leading the way here. We should have about 30 laps to go or so when we go back racing here tonight in the Arts Barbershop 125 here for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series here at Southern National.
Yeah, but once we get going green, if it stays green, those 30 laps are going to tick by in just a few minutes, because like we've been saying, it is a very short track. This track is only just a little bit longer than a running track, so with how banked it is, these guys can just rip around this place.
You said running track, and I can't relate. I don't do running, Kelly.
I don't anymore.
I run to the fridge to grab another cold one, and that's going to be about all the running I do. But these drivers are going to be running back to the throttle here tonight as they come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. Joe Schaefer back out front.
Now Joe Schaefer Jr. getting a good start, but so did the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse. He's actually staying to the rear of that 6. He's now going to take a look to the inside, not going to be able to get there through turn 3, but he is going to slot down into that inside line, that preferred lane. However, just behind them, Bill Martin, he's hanging on the outside. He wants to keep going towards the top of the field.
Talk about going to the top of the field. Casey Bietti up 24 spots here tonight. That youngster has got this track figured out. The driver out of Vermont is making this car look absolutely on. I wonder if he worked with Ty Majeski.
I don't know, but Bill Martin just made a pass stick on the outside, so that outside lane is possible to make some moves as he got around the 13G of Guillaume Fortin. Bietti, though, just took a look to the inside, backed out before he got into the left rear quarter of that 13G, so that 45 machine, he's wanted to move up even further. Steph
Marinac hanging right there, and then side-by-side, two veterans of the short track ranks on iRacing. There's the number 1 of Dalton Williamson to the inside of the number 51 of Justin Fuller. These two are going to race each other absolutely hard, and they don't just race here on the asphalt. They race on Sunday nights when the dirt program comes back this Sunday night. You see them running side-by-side over there also, so they will not give an inch because they're running into that Coach's Corner Championship Challenge.
Fuller is going to make the move on that outside lane, so he was trying that last green flag run. However, it seemed like it was too early to be done. Now, though, that outside lane is going to work. He makes the move. He moves himself up into 7th position, and now we're going to see if this maybe is going to blow things wide open. We may see more drivers making these attempts at passes now that we've seen that you don't just have to get your nose to the inside quarter of the guy in front of you.
Battle just at the top 10 here. Gary Eschen has been fading backwards here tonight. He has fallen back to the 10th spot, down 5 spots from where he started tonight. He was as high as running 3rd. Now Brian Hacker, as Hacker tonight racing with a little bit of a, I don't want to call it anxiety, but he just brought home his brand new baby boy. So congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Hacker for their brand new baby boy that's brought home. I know that's a life-changing experience as Hacker crosses himself up, and he'll now have to cool the tires back down to get back on to the back bumper of Gary Eschen, as I believe the caution lights will come back on. They are, for the 9th time, the caution lights coming back on here tonight for the Confusion Motorsports caution flag all around the speedway. Rob Higgins in car number 40 and Stephen Rochford in the 66, I believe, and being involved in this one. We'll watch it back. Watch the 66 and the 40. See the 66 down to the inside and the 40s to the outside. Higgins goes into the wall. Rochford drives it in, and when he went to try to correct it, to catch it, Higgins was to the outside and nowhere to go in car number 40.
Yeah, just a bit of a tank slapper for Rochford, as that's going to end his night as he pulls his car behind the wall. And Rob Higgins just wrong place, wrong time once again, as he just finds himself just in the most unlucky spots here tonight. But he's going to keep going. He's 3 laps down, but he's going to try to get as many points as he can out of tonight.
I think if we had an unlucky person award, it would definitely go to Rob Higgins here tonight. It just has not been the driver out of Massachusetts, way here tonight at all. That car, well, it looks like a crinkled up Busch Light can.
Yeah, his car is taking a lot of hits, but so is a few other cars here tonight. As you mentioned, Bill Martin, he has got a banged up front end, and it seems like the air is still moving around and through it just fine as he's got himself up into 3rd place. I think he just wants to visit us once again in the post-race show.
I think that's Bill's goal all season long, is just going to be to come talk to us one way or another. He just loves to talk and talk and talk. He's got to be the most interesting person on the tour here with the Upstate Racing League.
Interesting is definitely a way to put it. It's a good descriptor, I think.
We're come back here into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. It'll be under 20 laps to go. A little bit of a shootout. It's now or never if you want to take this away from Joe Schaefer Jr. And a great start this time by the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse coming out of that Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
And we've seen the outside lane work. However, caution flag is going to fly immediately before the 15 of Barkhouse can mount any sort of a challenge. That may have been Justin Rigsby involved in that one.
I think the corner worker telling us the number 72 here of Andy Lambert may have had a little piece of that also. Oh, Lambert goes straight in the priority auto, number 72, straight into turn number 1. Unfortunately, that'll be the end of his night, it looks like.
Yeah, do not know what happened to the 72 as well, because it looked like he just maybe had a bit of a brake failure. See the flames shooting out the tailpipe. But yeah, it's from what I'm hearing actually over the radio that it's an equipment failure. So yeah, basically he had no vision going into turn number 1.
Ouch. It's a hard way to find the outside retaining wall here tonight, especially with under 20 laps to go. So we're slowed once again with that darn dreaded Confusion Motorsports caution flag here tonight in the Arts Barber Shop 125 here. It'll be under 15 laps to go as we battle the 10th caution flag of the night. It's a battle of nutrition here tonight at the Southern National. Hey, look who's getting that lucky dog. It'll be Rob Higgins in car number 40. He'll take the old crinkled up beer can, Busch Latte, checkered flag, all supply machine. Now he's only 2 laps down. See the little bird that kept kicking just picked up a spot.
Now the question is, though, for Joe Schaefer Jr., is he going to be starting to feel a little bit nervous because he got a glimpse there on just that last restart. The outside lane can work, and Matthew Barkhouse might be able to make it work as he was pretty much even up completely with him going through turns 1 and 2, and Joe Schaefer Jr. only held on to the lead before the caution flew by just a nose.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get a better start here as he comes into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. We'll see if he fires off from a different spot here. As he does, he'll get a good rolling start. Back to green we go. 14 laps to go. Joe Schaefer Jr. will retain that race lead. Look at Guillaume Fortin down on the bottom side. He's trying to stick the nose of the 13G there. Not going to get the run off turn number 2, but look at Bill Martin out to the outside trying to take back 3rd.
Yeah, we've seen Bill Martin be able to roll that outside line pretty well, but we'll see if Guillaume Fortin going to be able to hang on to the inside. He kind of wiggled just a little bit coming off of turn 4. Caution flag once more.
Caution flag out, and it's going to be the 18 of Devin Johnson, who's having a little bit of connection issue with the iRacing.com server. So the 11th time the Confusion Motorsports yellow flag will fly here tonight at Southern National. We'll take a look. Let's see if we can see it, as he's out on the outside, and there's the 7 machine, a little netcode, a little contact, and a little connection issue. Easiest way to put that one.
Yeah, definitely a difficult situation when you don't exactly know where the car on your outside actually is.
Race fans, if you're in the United States, that means, well, January is going to be tax time for you. You know where you can go. Carpenter's Tax Service has you set for all your tax preparation you need. We also got to thank Eddie's Performance Solutions, located in Hope, Michigan. Eddie Performance Solutions is your #1 place to go for new setups or help on tuning your current setup. Contact them today because, well, you need a solution for your performance, and Eddie's Performance Solution has you covered.
Well, Joe Schaefer Jr. is going to continue holding on to this race lead. He has led all 116 laps. It's going to be just a few more to the end, though, but we've seen Matthew Barkos and Guillaume Fortin have had some speed and been able to kind of get close to that 6 machine, but it's almost seemed like he's been untouchable.
Now we'll see if he is Mr. Invincible here tonight as we're come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. It'll be 8 laps remaining here tonight in the Arts Barber Shop 125. This time a good start to the outside. Call it, I believe, the 15 just by the nose to turn 1.
Yeah, the 15 really timed that perfectly. Matthew Barkos now, he's actually going to have a nose ahead as the cars go spinning behind him. That's the 39 of Bill Martin. He's going to get spun around, and that's going to cause a huge wreck off of turn 4. And we have a car on its lid.
That is going to be the number 11 of Brian Hacker, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois. He is on his lid here tonight. So the 12th time the caution flag has flown here tonight. We'll put a slow crawl to this one here at the end of this. We'll have to go back. We know that the 39 was involved of Bill Martin. We'll see where he will shake down on the scoring tower. Let's take a look here and see what happened to the 39. Oh, a little hip check maybe by the 45 of Casey Bietti. Everybody just gets stacked up. Nowhere for Brian Hacker to go. Watch it again. There you see Bietti just up the speedway a little bit. There's the 39. He'll collect the 8. The 11 of Hacker gets stuck together with, looked like the 12 there. Jeremy Carpenter going down pit road. And Brian Hacker just unfortunately looking like Wayne McDuff the Turtle upside down.
Well, we are getting towards the end of this race. This next restart may be our last, as I don't know if it's going to trigger the green-white checkered, but it is definitely going to be close. But I think we are going to be stacking them up just in a moment here, so we may actually have a few more laps to go. We'll have to see if that 15 car is. It seemed really close. I thought Barkhouse was actually going to have the position when the caution flag flew. I thought he was ahead, but Joe Schaefer Jr. hanging on by inches.
He is going to be the restart control car here when we go back racing, and it's not going to trigger that green-white checker just yet. This is a green-white checker, but it is not the overtime green-white checker here tonight in the Arts Barbershop 125. So we're getting them going here once again. It's still going to be Joe Schaefer Jr. to the inside, and then it'll be car number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse to the outside here as they come into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
His car dives away one more time, and going to waste no time for Joe Schaefer Jr. He's going to launch and try to get to that outside lane. He's going to get turned around sideways through turn number 1. Caution is going to fly. I do not know if he's going to hang on to the position because he was still ahead of the 15 car, but that may have saved him.
So not such a good start there by the drivers at the front of the field as the caution flag for the 13th time here tonight will bring out that Confusion Performance caution lights, and we'll see where everybody does line up, as it looks like Joe Schaefer Jr. is going to lose a handful of spots here on that exchange Scoring pylon right now telling us that Matthew Barkhouse, Justin Fuller, then Joe Schaefer Jr. We will see how that all shakes down. Let's go back and watch this replay here. Watch the 6, watch the 15. That front row going to swap hands right here. Schaefer switches over in front of the 15 right into the left rear, and Schaefer catches it, and then the caution lights are triggered because, well, the entire field was absolutely bearing down.
Yeah, the caution may have saved him for some more damage and from losing more spots. Barkhouse is going to claim the caution, so he's going to move all the way to the back. So unfortunate ending for that 15 car, as he was challenging for the race lead, but now the battle for the race lead is going to come down between Fuller and Barkhouse, as we've seen Justin Fuller come all the way back from 28th place, now going to be leading and in control of this field coming into the final restart.
So it'll be Fuller, it'll be Schaefer, it'll be Guillaume Fortin, then it'll be A.J. Hamill, Steph Marinac, Dalton Williamson, Brian Rogers, Gary Eschen, Bill Martin, and Jeremy Bingham. That 39 of Bill Martin has started the fade here late in the going here at Southern National. We'll see if he can get back on the horse here tonight. Two drivers that, well, have gone around that have come back. There is the number 73 of Vernon Woodard. He went for a spin, remember, early on and went a lap down. He's now back into the 11th position. Brett Hahn also going around twice. He is now in the 7-11 entry back into the 12th spot. Scott Austin, Brett Bartels, and also Michael Trevarthen all having problems with Mike Holtzclaw, as they are all back inside the top 16 here tonight, coming into what should probably be the final restart here. So the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone going to be very, very busy.
Pace car down and away, and we see Justin Fuller launch the field this time by Joe Schaefer Jr. going to try to hang on to the outside lane. 2 laps to go as Fuller gets a good launch off of turn number 2. He's going to hang on to the race lead coming towards our white flag.
It'll be 1 lap to go off turn number 4, presented by Carpenter's Tax Service. It's the final trip around the speedway. Fuller has the race lead, but here comes Joe Schaefer Jr. The Epic Media entry has been quick all night. One final time down into turn number 3 and 4. It'll be the 51 leaving the door open, but it will be Justin Fuller picking up the win here tonight at Southern National.
Yeah, Justin Fuller coming from all the way back in the field. I think we had 32 cars take the green flag, and he was 28th when we started this race, and he is going to end up on top, leading only a handful of laps.
So he'll pull it down here tonight. We're going to word in with Fuller, Schaefer, and Guillaume after these messages. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here to Southern National.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Well, welcome back here, race fans, to Southern National after 100 and, well, took a couple more than just that 150 scheduled here tonight at Southern National and the Arts Barbershop 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League to figure out who was going to go to victory lane. But we officially have the word here tonight that it will be the number 51 of Justin Fuller. Kelly, you are hustling down there. You've caught up with the 51 of Justin Fuller.
Yeah, catching up now with our race winner, Justin Fuller. Justin, you started all the way near the back of the field, going all the way up to first, but it seemed extremely difficult to make any sort of passes here. But how did you find a way to cut through the entire field?
Well, we made a big mistake in qualifying, so we started in the back, unfortunately. But the outside line worked really good. Everybody was just fishing for the bottom, and they would all just stack up. So you could make some ground up there, but the problem would be you get to somebody on the outside line that didn't know how to run it, or they just weren't being aggressive enough, and then they would just hit the wall in front of me and send me back a couple spots. So it was just a cat and mouse game all night long. I was just trying to get to the top 10, really top 14, so I can get that, make sure that I'm in the transfer or the handicap for next week, whatever it's called. Yeah, it just trying to stay out of trouble as much as possible. And basically, I felt like Moses. The seas parted for me all night long.
Well, the race came down to one final restart, and it was the only restart that you were in control. I mean, what was kind of going through your head as you came to that restart zone?
Well, the funny part was I didn't even know where the restart zone really was. I started so far back, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get up front to worry about where the restart zone is. So I had no idea. I kind of had an idea looking at the racetrack, kind of like figuring out, all the years I've been here. But yeah, I didn't know what gear to restart in as the leader. I just restarted in third like I had been doing all night behind other cars. And I'm not very good at this track. I'm not a big fan of it. But I've always ran fairly decently well here. So I just tried to keep it on the bottom. But I didn't do a very good job at that either. I really thought Joe was going to get under me there on the white flag lap coming off turn 2, but I think he got a little loose.
Well, next week we'll be moving on to Lanier, and you've been having yourself a decent season so far. I mean, what are your thoughts kind of going into Lanier with where you are in the championship?
Well, Lanier is one of my favorite racetracks. I think that's our longest race of the year, too. I think that's the 161 lapper. So that's going to be a fun one for sure. It's one of my favorite tracks. It doesn't really suit my driving style, though. So we'll see. But yeah, we're having a good season so far. This is 3 podiums in a row, 2 wins, and a third. So we'll take it. Even though I didn't really deserve the win tonight, it just kind of fell in my lap. So I'm trying not to celebrate it too hard because I know I didn't really deserve it at the end of the day. But wins are hard to come by here in this league, and pretty much any league with the likes of Joe, Bill, Guillaume, Stefan, all these guys that are so good and consistent every week. So you got to take them when you can get them. It's unfortunate the way it happened, but at the end of the day, we'll move on to next week.
All right, Justin, well, before we let you go, who would you like to thank for your run that ended up in victory lane here?
First off, I got to thank Al Smith and all the admins at the Upstate Racing League for what they do for putting this on. Like I've said in the past, this is, 11th season, 12th season? I'm not even sure what it is. But it's to have a league this competitive and successful. I know tonight maybe not the best race. We had quite a few cautions tonight. I'm sure Al's not too happy about that. I got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'll go back and watch this tomorrow. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to Arts Barbershop for sponsoring the series tonight. Thanks to Best Colorful Creations. I definitely forgot to thank them week 1. Thanks for them for sponsoring the series. And thanks to Personal Comfort, better price for sponsoring me every time I feel like I'm on a Pixel racetrack.
All right, well, thank you so much coming to talk to us, Justin. And that is Justin Fuller, your winner here tonight. And hopefully we'll hear from you next week.
Kelly, have a good one.
Moving on now, I believe that Roger is going to be caught up with our second place finisher tonight.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Joe Schaefer Jr. a little upset here tonight. Joe, a great run, great qualifying effort, and this car absolutely firing off on all 8 cylinders out of that restart zone all night long, and it just came down to one restart where it all got taken away.
Yeah, I wasn't real crazy about the restart zone just because it's so small. I mean, I get it, and they want to enforce it, so I was trying to keep it close all night. I know I was going a little bit early a couple of those times, but that's just because I didn't want to get it taken away from me like I did. I didn't get a spectacular restart on that last one, but I think it was good enough. And, push came to shove. There was 3 to go, and just took it from behind. And that's the way it goes for me sometimes in this league.
You were able to restart towards the front here. That was the first time that you were going to have to fire off from the outside there on that green-white checker attempt for the final there, the final green-white checker attempt, we should say. What was going through the mind to try and get back the race lead there then at the end?
Well, I'd lost a little bit of focus. I was pretty much just accepting my bad luck. I did what I could. Justin got a pretty good restart, and I think I would have, I don't know, I had a mental plan of trying to ride on his right rear into 1 and then kind of scooting down and getting underneath him off of 2, but these cars are such a piece of junk after 15 laps even. I had a good run but got loose and couldn't take it from him. A small part of me thought about shipping him into turn 3, but he's never run me like that, so I don't want to set that precedent. So it's all good. Didn't have a very good start to the season at Iowa and missed last week at Myrtle, which is a good track for me. So I'll take the second place because I just need to start stacking some good finishes here.
When you talk about a second place finish, what do you think about heading to Lanier, though, another small track next week?
I would say Lanier's kind of in the same bracket as Oxford, and Oxford's probably my favorite track. This one's close too. And it's just going to be about saving your right rear next week. The car is going to go tight, so, and with the way the apron is at Lanier, you can kind of use the apron as the run goes on to help it turn. But if you save your right rear, you're going to end up in a really good spot towards the end, and hopefully you don't get dumped on a restart.
Well, a little bit of bad luck, but still a good finish nonetheless here for you, Joe. Before we let you go, there's a lot of people, though, that help you out here with that 6 machine.
Yeah, I'll thank Epic Media, as always, Dr. Noise Paints and Custom Diecasts. A big thanks to Al and everybody at Upstate. I think Arts Barbershop is the sponsor for tonight's race, so always cool to have people that are willing to support races like this and put money on the line to race for and make it feel real official. So despite the result, I still had a pretty good time. I like the track, not so much the car, but I just like the group of guys, and we'll regroup for next week.
There you hear it from Joe Schaefer Jr., absolutely dominating after taking the pole here tonight at Southern National. He will come home with, well, a good finish, but disappointing to him in his mind. It'll be second for the driver of car number 6. Sitting back into the third spot, though, it was a quiet night for him, Kelly. He was in the battle, but just sitting there in that third spot.
Yeah, caught up now with Guillaume Fortin. Guillaume, you're now one of 2 drivers that have finished in the top 3 every race. And how are you feeling about your season? It's got to be feeling good.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty happy with the results so far this year. Funny thing is that I wasn't supposed to make the race tonight, but with some miracle I made it. So I'm pretty happy to finish third and get a point for the standing and the championship battle with Fuller, Joe, and Bill, and everybody that's passed this season.
Well, we saw some hard driving out there. I mean, what was it like for you, really? Was it the inside lane that was working better for you, or were you running that second lane?
I mean, I was just trying to follow Joe and his tire mark. Usually I'm not pretty good here, so I followed him, and it was pretty good until I got past on the restart. I lost my focus and started to lose momentum a little bit, but gathered it around and made some ground working the bottom.
Well, looking forward throughout the rest of the season, is there any tracks that's really standing out as a track you're kind of looking forward to be running?
Yeah, usually Lanier is one of my favorite tracks to run, but so far we've made like 2 of my most successful track with Iowa and Southern National. So I've got no clue about the rest of the year and what race we're gonna do, but I hope it can be like the start of the season and we can get top 5 and hopefully a championship at the end.
And well, hopefully your good momentum is going to keep going on. But before we let you go, who would you like to thank for your run here that found you in 3rd place?
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank all my friends at university. Right now I'm on a laptop in the classroom at university. So they're cheering for me in the background. So thanks to them for being so supportive. And also Art Barbershop for sponsoring this race. Al and every sponsor of this league. It's pretty awesome. I'm having fun every week, and also you guys for the broadcast.
Well, Guillaume, we won't keep you here for too much longer. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends for that run. But thank you for so much coming out and talking to us, and hopefully we'll hear from you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, Kelly. Have a good one.
That is Guillaume Fortin, driver of the 13G and our third place finisher here tonight. But now we're going to send it back up to Roger for a few final thoughts.
So a little bit of a slow-paced start to this one here at Southern National before we got some great green flag run racing. Came down to a little bit of bumping at the front of the field at the end of this one where it was Justin Fuller coming out on top of Joe Schaefer Jr. and Guillaume Fortin. A.J. Hamill did pick up 19 spots. He'll finish up into the 4th spot. Dalton Williamson was 5th. Steph Marinac in 6th. Gary Eschen falling back into the 7th spot. Brian Rogers Jr. in 8th. Jeremy Bingham there into the 9th spot. And Bill Martin fading late in this one. He'll finish back into the 10th spot. That's your unofficial top 10 spots here tonight, leaving the Southern National Speedway here for the Arts Barbershop 125. So a little bit of a rocky one, but we're giving another go next week. It'll be the Dan Dubuque Memorial from the Lanier Speedway just next week for race number 4 of the season here for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series for the Upstate Racing League, and I can't wait to get there. Lanier is one of my favorites. We'll be there, though, first on Sunday night for the Dan Dubuque Memorial 61 at Lanier, presented by the Hampton Starter Shop with the Big Block Modifieds. See a lot of the drivers that you saw here tonight in competition in the Super Late Model race on Sunday night when the Bartell Builders Big Block Modifieds come to town at Lanier. We'll scrape the dirt off, wash it down the speedway, and then we're putting, well, these Super Late Models out there just next Wednesday night. So that's coming up on the schedule here for the Upstate Racing League. Make sure you catch all that racing action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But for everybody at the Arts Barbershop and everybody with Best Colorful Creations and everybody with the Upstate Racing League, my name's Roger Muth. That's Kelly Dahl. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from Southern National. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.